Welcome back. We're talking babies this afternoon because for some reason they just keep arriving during the shift of a certain Sartell police officer. Officer Steve Matthews can't really explain it himself. Just 11 minutes after receiving a 911 call on Friday, he and two other officers helped deliver a healthy baby girl inside a Sartell home. Well, that alone is rare, considering paramedics were just seconds behind them. But as Kent Erdahl found out, for Matthews, it was pretty familiar.
Parents don't generally choose police stations for a baby's very first social outing.
How are you guys?
But for Donovan Johnson and Tasha Allstott, this is really a 3-day reunion for their daughter.
It says Patience.
Tasha says Patience seemed like a fitting name through her due date on Thursday. But then, on Friday morning,
I didn't want to believe that it was time. I was scared.
she realized Patience wasn't going to wait for the hospital, so Donovan called 911.
I wasn't too far away, so I was the first one there.
Officer Steve Matthews quickly realized how much that timing mattered.
Maybe 3-4 minutes and he was there.
I could tell as soon as he walked in that he was going to be the one catching the baby or delivering the baby.
Tasha also quickly realized the significance.
And I asked if he had done it before. That was my first question.
And I said, yes, I have.
Officer Matthews earned his first stork pin after helping deliver Delaney Rose Eaton in August of 2015.
It just all happened very rapidly. It was an intense moment, but it worked out well.
Delaney's mom, Barbara, was thrilled when we told her about Officer Matthews' second delivery a decade later.
I think he was the perfect person for that opportunity again. You know, in my experience, he was incredibly professional, calm, and just took charge of the entire situation.
Though his memory of it is slightly different.
That was a little more nerve-wracking. We go through first responder training and we do discuss those types of situations, but it's always the doom and gloom situation of childbirth. The first time that you do it, you think anything and everything could possibly go wrong, and then it doesn't, and and then it's okay.
It certainly is.
We're on spring break.
Hi.
Barbara and Delaney are doing great.
It's a blessing.
So are Patience and Tasha, thanks to Officer Matthews and two of his colleagues.
They definitely brought me comfort when I was really scared. And they were there when we needed them to be there.
Matthews says he's simply grateful he was in the right place at the right time.
So precious.
And he'll be happy to add another pin if called on again.
Little blessing. That's fine. Yeah. I'll go for number 3.
What a great story. Well, it is that time of year when senior pictures are on people's minds. And recently, a photo shoot in Hallock, Minnesota caught the eye of Boyd Hoopert. It involves a hockey standout who helped pull off a unique play to honor the memory of his grandfather.
Hockey in Hallock is hallowed history.
It's deep. It goes back through many generations and many families.
A tradition that Jameson Turner embraced early.
He was skating before he was walking.
I would say, yeah.
Justin and Jamie
Holding Dad's fingers.
introduced their son
in this building
to his home when he wasn't at home in his hometown, 20 miles from the Canada border.
Once I could figure out how to skate a little bit, he gave me a stick and a puck.
His first steps in the footsteps of his grandpa.
He was a goalie, yep.
This is the sweatshirt he wore.
The same shirt Kim Turner was wearing in this picture holding Jameson. Less than a year before Grandpa Kim was gone.
He was killed in a car accident, yeah. And 51 years old is what he was. He was the mayor of Hallock, and it was a dang tragedy. The whole city felt, I think, the same.
Which meant Kim Turner missed his grandson also becoming a goalie.
Lubinski centers one, it's saved by Turner.
And not just any goalie.
Save, popped up, and it just goes over the net off the pad of Turner, who has now made 37 saves in this game.
That was the 2,000 mark, yep. That was when he broke 2,000.
2,000 saves, plus 199 more after. Still waiting to be verified as a state high school record.
He's here when that stuff's happening.
Which helped.
For sure.
Give Justin an idea.
I took the picture sitting right here.
Jameson at his locker with a visitor.
They're having this conversation, grandpa and grandson. It turned out exactly the way I I'd hoped it would, I guess.
Lauren Youngren
Yeah.
was the right photographer for the job.
I was a goalie too. Halleck High School here.
Goalie, goalie, goalie.
I've always seen the picture of him. He's in an old locker room.
The post-high school town league photo of Kim Turner,
Just sitting there in the locker room.
Justin sent to Lauren,
Yeah.
not even knowing who took it.
My dad actually took that photograph of Kim. So there's another generation involved in this story too.
Lauren's dad shot Kim holding a cold Pabst.
But I am holding a Diet Coke. I'm not holding a beer.
It is, after all, a senior photo.
That would get me in trouble.
That's the conversation you hope they could have had.
Tradition
These pads right here are Kim Turner's.
passed from grandpa to grandson,
Pretty neat.
passed on
For sure.
Oh yeah,
and living on.
he's here.
Boyd Hubert, KARE 11 News,
Pretty cool.
Halleck.
Well, Jameson is still weighing school options after graduating, but he told Boyd he would definitely like to continue playing hockey, just like his grandpa did after high school. Stick with us. More news and weather's coming up after the break.